G'day everyone, Chris from the Headache and Pain Management Centre here for your Friday afternoon. And today I'm talking about a very special joint that is in your neck. And you might have seen a couple of pictures on our Facebook and Instagram page about this joint. We've had lots and lots of questions about it, so I thought I would address it here today. If you're joining me, type in below. I can see that you're joining there. Hello. Say hello, and I'm happy to answer any questions as we are talking through. So today we're talking about the C23 joint in your neck. So the C23 joint is, as the name suggests, it's the joint between the second and third vertebrae of your spine. So it's up here somewhere. So right at that level, right about there. So that particular joint is really special because it's like a junction point between the top of your neck and the bottom of your neck. So that particular joint is the least mobile of the joints in your neck. Above the joint, it's C12 is the main joint that spins and moves, and the joint above that is the joint that does most of your nodding, and the joints below C23 do mostly side bending and the turning when it gets a little bit further around. So that C23 segment can get a bit jammed up because you've got a lot of movement happening above and below it, but at the joint itself it can get a little bit, confused as to what its function might be. When there's an issue with headache and migraine, invariably what we find is that that particular joint at C23 is the main driver. And the reason why is because it doesn't move as well as the other joints above and below it. So what can sometimes happen is that due to a forward head posture, so when your head's forward like this, I'll just look from the side, so it's like that. That is loading up the C23 joint. So a lot of things, like computer work, looking down, slouching in a chair, can put extra stress through that C23 segment and make it a little bit irritated and a little bit angry. What can happen if it's on one side or the other is that you can get a sort of this localized pain. It's right up sort of here in the top corner of your neck. And because of that, that junction point sort of function, you can have pain that refers up and over your head from C23, or it can refer down into your shoulder blade, sort of at the top of your shoulder blade, like it, in that sort of area, it can refer down from there. So there's a couple of muscles that also attach into C23. So you've got the muscles that connect down to your shoulder blade. You've got a few muscles that connect down that hold your head upright like this as well. So there's a lot of different things that attach to this particular joint. It's a very special joint. And when something isn't going quite right with it, whether it be stiff, a bit irritated, a little bit sensitive, then all hell can break loose. You can get all sorts of different pains, sort of pains in your neck, a tension headache at the back of the head, a really explosive, sickening pain that comes up and over the head into behind the eye. And because of the way that the nerves then pass up in through your brain, it can affect things like dizziness, like nausea, and then as a result of that, sensitive to light, sensitive to sound, like a migraine as well. So you can get all of these different things that can happen as a result of the C23 joint, where the C23 joint is the main driver of it, and then all of these different symptoms seem not to be related to it. The biggest mistake that's made when treating C23 at times is actually treating just the sides, when really what we want to treat is the front to back direction, okay? So getting that front to back movement at C23, getting nice and loose, getting it nice and desensitized so that your brain doesn't see it as such a big issue anymore. So that C23 joint is something that we look at on day one with most people with headache and migraine. It's very rare that we wouldn't be looking at that joint on day one. It seems to be the root of all evil when it comes to tension headaches and migraines, and certainly getting that segment moving, less sensitive, and then getting the muscles around it stronger, both locally around the joint itself and then the muscles in your neck and shoulder, seems to do a really, really good job in desensitizing the system well enough so that tension headaches and migraines are a thing of the past. I hope that's been really helpful. If I can see that there's a fair number of people today having a look. G'day, it's nice to see you there. If there's any questions before I sign off, I can answer them for you while I'm talking here on the video. Basically, that's it from me today with regards to the C23 joint. I'll be back next week with a few more live videos regarding one about whiplash actually next week, and one about low back pain as well. If there's any questions or any other topics that you'd like me to discuss in videos moving forward, also type them in the comments as well, because I'm always looking to talk about new things for my audience. Great to catch up with you again. Hope everyone has a lovely weekend, and I'll talk to you again next week. Cheers and bye for now.